Hey, MLSListings subscribers, welcome back to another vendor spotlight. We're really excited today because we got a brand new partnership, and here's her first time on our show here as a brand new vendor, Audrey Whittington with Local Logic. Audrey, how you doing today?
Nice to meet you, David. I appreciate the lovely introduction,
Oh
and I'm
no,
psyched to be
thanks.
here and introduce this to your members.
No, thanks so much. And yeah, no, we're really excited about it. And, Audrey, we use words every day in real estate, especially as trainers and so forth. And, being the market expert, right?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, right, that kind of a hyper local, because that's really what real estate has become, especially where we're at here. And you guys really do that. I loved how you said you guys go beyond the four walls when we were talking earlier. You tell the story of the neighborhood, right?
Yeah,
And,
that's
and
who
I,
we are. We're everything outside the four walls. We don't, we wanted the consumer or the member to be able to understand what it's like to live there once you walk outside.
Nice, nice. I've seen the sites very data rich, and I think listing, whether you're a listing agent or a buyer's agent, you're going to find a lot of value in here. So, having said that, let's go ahead and take it away and see what we
Yeah,
got here.
let's get to it. I love it. Okay, let me share my screen right away. Let me kind of jump in here and jump to your site here. So, Local Logic, as he said, is we are the neighborhood experts. In addition to you, all we're doing is trying to provide your members with that information that makes sure that their buyers or their sellers have as much information as is humanly possible outside the four walls. So if you come here you'll find our integration right here under products and tools. So that little drop down here, and then you scoot down and you'll see us right here, local logic. And then once you click to local logic, so this is our landing page. So the landing page is going to basically um, first explain to you to see a sample report. Okay, because what neighborhood intel is, just if we back up for 3 seconds, is it is a Carfax for the neighborhood. Okay, so it is basically telling you exactly what it's like to live there from a variety of vantage points, transportation, services, and characters. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you probably are going to want to view sample reports. So go ahead and click this when you come in and make sure you see one. And then if you come down here, though, we'll kind of look at some of the screenshots that are available. You'll see that each report, don't worry, David, we're going to go live to one, I promise,
That's it.
is that we're going to basically be able to see the transportation services and character, the written description, a nice little story of the neighborhood. This is something really nobody else is offering. It's context, right? And we come here and you'll get some demographics, or really what we like to call a community portrait. And then if you come here, you'll get some climate. How often am I going to need an umbrella? Furthermore, where are the restaurants? Where's my grocery stores? Is this walkable? I'm a millennial with no car. Or am I a little bit more like myself, an empty nester where I still drive everywhere and I care about other things? So we want to make sure that whether the buyer or seller, we're meeting their needs. Okay. Just to kind of get into the money for 3 seconds, this is $20 a month for an unlimited number of reports. We first started this, we were going to charge for a report, and we thought, no, we don't want to hinder people. They should be able to pull thousands of reports if they want. It's the same amount of money. You should know this is a 14-day trial. So just put your credit card in, pull thousands of reports, and bail out if you want. Okay. We want you to use it. We think you're going to stick with it. You could use it for 3 months and pay $60, whatever. Okay. But we think you're going to find value in it as part of doing business. So let's jump in a little further and let's look at the dashboard. This, if you pay for it, this is your dashboard. The first thing you'll see here is that you can just put in an address. Any address actually in the United States, you're going to get that question. It is not limited to California. So if you've got Atlanta or anywhere else, you just put the address in and it will pull the report. I'm going to pull a report in a second, but I'm going to go through the rest of the dashboard. This is really clean and easy. Nobody needs another hard tool. So to understand
Right.
where they need a training, we have training videos, but they're super short because this is easy. So if you come here, there's a section here on personalize your report. This is available on actually about 2 weeks. We're going live with this, where you'll be able to put your name, your website, and your social media links here. So you could personalize the report. You will also be able to just, if you're hitting like, you're like, shoot, I don't want to type that address in again. Or better yet, I'll give you an example. A member's on the phone with a buyer and they said, can you resend me that report? They don't have to type it again. They just regenerate. It saves the last five. Okay. And we have some FAQs as well in here in your dashboard. so that if you have questions about how to answer about some of the data on the report. Now let's jump into an actual report, okay? I have RE Colorado here, but this would be branded to MLS listings by
Right.
default, again, unless the agent is personalizing it, right? So if we come in here, this is actually my property where I live. So this is the boundary of my neighborhood. So the first thing it does is it shows the consumer or the member, again, you can use these for yourself, what the boundary of the neighborhood is. Has a nice little table of contents. The next couple of weeks, you'll be able to click on these table of contents and it'll take you to another part of the report faster. This is where that agent personalization part will go if you've inputted it. So instead of these nice little disclaimers everybody loves, it'll have an agent face with, their social media links and stuff like that here. And then if you come here, this is my favorite part. This is the story of the neighborhood. This is the one thing really nobody is doing for consumers today, again, buyers or sellers, is helping them understand what it's like to live where in the neighborhood where they're either selling their house or where they're buying a house. And often what happens with agents is they can talk to their neighborhood if it's within a couple of blocks, and they tend to do a lot of stuff where they live. But if they get a referral that's more than 2 blocks away from where they live, it's hard for them to speak really and tell the story of the neighborhood and make sure we come back to what you said earlier, David, being a local expert, right?
Right.
So we want the agent to be able to be a local expert in any context, right? We don't want them to be, hey, let me go check, or what did you see? We want them to be able to say, actually, I have proprietary information and can tell you what it's like to live there. Or if it's your seller, I know you're moving because you don't like the highway coming in. But that's considered added transit. And for millennials, they want to be close to the highway. So they're actually good with that. So we want to make sure that we're telling the story of your neighborhood for the reason that you're moving or for where you're buying. Doesn't matter. Okay. So we get this little description of the transportation services and character and housing. And then we come down here and we get nice points of interest. We get transportation points of interest. Where's the subway? Where's the bus? And you see these here, David, those are scores. Those scores are proprietary to Local Logic. Local Logic has over 3,000 data sources. So these are ours. And these kind of help people understand, again, is it walking, driving, transit? Let's look at some more scores. We can come down here and we get to amenities and there are scores. And again, these are largely based on proximity. So when I say, hey, what does an 8 mean for grocery? It means there's a lot of grocery stores pretty darn close by. Everything is within 5 minutes in walking. So I do, as you can see from my home address, I do live among the millennials who I do have a car. But if I wanted to get rid of mine, no problem. Everything is walking distance. Okay. So this is helping me to understand that. Okay. And if I come down here, right? I can see the schools. My kids are not in these schools anymore, but actually they went to a lot of these schools, so I happen to know they're correct. And then if you come down here, you get, is it quiet or anything? Now look, notice this neighborhood is not super quiet. I can tell you, luckily an ambulance is not going by because it is not super quiet. And what way we had judged that quiet score is there hospitals? Are there fire stations? For me, there are hospitals, which actually I like that the hospital is not very far. I like that the fire station. So I'm on a higher floor of a multifamily, not a problem for me. But if I was raising small kids and had a new baby, this may not be that attractive, and that's important for me to know. And if I was selling my house, which one day I will know that I'm probably not going to sell it to somebody that has a new baby that cares whether or
Right.
not the ambulance is going by,
Right.
right? So this is important for agents to market properly. So again, lastly, we'll come down to here, the last two sections. We have a community portrait. This is basically demographics, census data, no fair housing issue. You can see, again, maybe for me, actually, you can see I am a little older than the average age here, but I don't mind. It keeps me young, but it was good for me to know that before I moved in. I also can notice that, most of the people living here are 1 to 2 people, and that is completely commensurate with this neighborhood. I know that most people, actually, I have a subway across from me. So it is actually a high transit area. Most people do take the subway. You get the general idea here. Almost everybody's employed. It helps me understand, are they renters? Are they employed? Are they unemployed? Are they single families? Look at this. See, you can little snippet, David. Now you know I live in multifamily land, right?
Yep, you weren't
A
lying.
lot of apartments. And then if you come down here, you can see the climate of my location. I am in Washington, D.C. area, so it's pretty moderate. We don't have a lot of fires. If we were doing Texas, this might be a little different, or maybe for your area, etc. But it gives just sort of a general overview of the climate.
Sure.
And that's how it works. Now, I love it and I want to send it out. So what I can do here is I can either just copy the link, throw it into Facebook Messenger, put it on Facebook, whatever you want, or I can download it and email it as a PDF. And that's the snapshot.
Awesome, awesome. No, that's some cool stuff. Really data rich, and what I love about it is, like you said, telling the story beyond those four walls. It really, because it's one thing to just have data. It's another thing. It kind of really interprets the data for you, right? What kind of neighborhood is this? Takes all that out. And use words like easy, which we like. And it is easy and
Well,
efficient.
I
Um,
think that's the biggest problem is people are bombarded with data and graphs. I do a master class where I do a lot of speaking on this, and the issue is that there are some reports out there. Nothing is telling the story of the neighborhood and outside the four walls. Everything is just a bombardment of market graphs and things like that. And
right.
it's up to the consumer and the agent to sort of digest it and write their own story. We're saying, look, we'll write the story for you. Let us help you, tell the story of this neighborhood.
Right, right. Because you mentioned it to me even earlier, and it's so dead on. One person might be leaving a neighborhood for the very same reason someone wants to move into the neighborhood, right? And this really is
We're
gonna,
definitely going to jump on that one for sure.
yeah. So hey, tagline that.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
Audrey, this has been fantastic.
Oh, my
Everybody
pleasure.
know where to get to it. We're gonna link up some training materials to it as well at the end there of the video here. To all our subscribers, get in there, do that test run and get these into your listing presentations and get this out there and really become that market expert and let these help you. So Audrey, thank you so much for coming. Great to have a partnership, Local Logic, and I'm
Yay.
sure we'll be hearing more from you. So
Yeah,
thanks
thank you
again.
so much. I look forward to it and give us your feedback. We're interested.
Awesome. Take care,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you.
Make sure to check out our Pro Support page for additional videos on a full range of topics. And don't forget to click that subscribe button on our MLS Listings YouTube page.